Right. That's crazy.
And we are live. Good morning, LBHT crew. Good morning, Rogue Nation. Yes, yo, we sitting here laughing because our guy KP, he left a comment early at midnight. Right, that's a couple hours after I set the stream up. He said, "I don't know if y'all see chat comments before it goes live. We do. Salute to you. Good morning." He said, "But I want to leave a question just in case because I know I'm not going to be up there early." Hey, appreciate that. We appreciate the commitment to the show, even when you know you're not going to be up. Thanks. He says, "Did y'all see Ronnie Stanley's response to the reporter who asked if he wanted Harbaugh back? Also, should they cut Loop or at least bring in competition because he leads the league in kickoff penalties? Also, one more. Do you want Emory Jones as a starter next year, or do you want two completely different guards?" We'll start with the last one. I want Emory Jones to win the starting job. Nothing should be handed to anybody ever in this league. It's supposed to be earned. He looked good in the spots that he's been out there, but there needs to be. I think we said this yesterday, right? Like you need to get somebody in here, a veteran, like bring Kevin Zeitler back, right? And see if he can beat out Kevin Zeitler. If he can't beat out Kevin Zeitler, or if he can't outperform him, then he doesn't get the starting job. If he does beat him out, which I suspect he should be able to, right? Then he can get the starting job. But yes, he should be given an opportunity. The problem this year was players weren't given opportunities to win a starting job. They were handed to other players. Right. Yeah. Right. For Ronnie Stanley. Okay. So it's funny you mentioned that because yesterday I was telling Brodney, we were talking about the head coach, and I was like, they asked Derrick Henry about Harbaugh and how he felt about him coming back, and he gave what Brodney calls "everybody loves everybody" response. Right? He says, "I love Harbaugh. I love everybody in the building, but that is that's above my pay grade." Right? That's what the coaches that's up to the coaches to decide that, right? And I'll play some of that right here. You guys can see Henry's response, and then we'll go to Ronnie Stanley. We'll get to Ronnie. Here we go.
It's kind of ending. There's going to be a lot of people talking about it. Are there going to be big changes in the offseason? I mean, including at the top with Harbaugh. I mean, would you like to see him back, and would you like to see as many key people with the team back as possible?
Harbaugh, I'd love to see him with the organization. As far as those decisions, that's out of my pay grade. I want to make those decisions. I love everybody.
Everybody loves everybody, right? Everybody loves everybody. Right. So I was like, okay, all right. I didn't think much of that, right? Because he's like, hey, I'm not involved in that. I haven't been here that long. It's whatever for me, right? Then I saw Ronnie Stanley was asked the same question, and we'll get to that response here if I can find it. Here we go. So we get to Ronnie Stanley. He was asked the same question, and tell me if you could spot a difference here. Let me cue this up. Oh, let me pause it. Let me cue this up for y'all. Y'all tell me if you see a similarity in the response.
Yeah, I mean, I just let those guys handle those things. My job is to lead my O-line, lead my offense, lead the guys that are in the locker room. That's what I try to keep my focus on, and try to keep it simple. So, I love Harbs, and everything he's done for the team. Whatever they handle, that's their business.
He said everybody loves everybody.
Thanks.
He said everybody loves everybody, bro.
Right.
So it doesn't seem like the players really have his back. Not that it matters, right? Not that it matters, because I'm going to play another clip here in a second. We're going to discuss this. We got a lot of things to discuss this morning, and not a lot of time, because we got to get out of here at 6:45 today. I'm off vacation. All right. Good morning to the chat. Good morning, Davon. Dr. Kush, good morning.
Ooh.
Showcase, good morning. Appreciate y'all coming through. Point, good morning.
Ooh, that's good.
M Mun, good morning. Clock, good morning. Zeke Hokage, what's good? Good morning.
What's up, nephew?
SV Cam, good morning. Melanated One, Rex Ryan criticized Lamar Jackson for not having Harbaugh's back after the game press conference when Jeff Zrebiec asked him what do he want Harbaugh to do? Does he want Harbaugh to remain coach? That's
Right.
because Rex Ryan, that's a soft spot for him because the last black quarterback he had completely crushed him for being a bad head coach and not having his back. So that's and he sucked as a head coach.
Facts.
Black Daniel, salute. Good morning. Alfonso Richardson, good morning. Gear Bear. Hey,
what's up, Dare?
If Hart's still on this team, isn't serious and never win the Super Bowl, hey, I'm gonna get to that. Don't worry, we'll
talk about that.
Okay. Just Aloe, good morning.
What up?
Hello, everyone. Jose Hendo. Harbaugh is not getting fired. I don't want Jose to get his hopes up. Listen, I'm realistic. You know by now, me and B are realistic. We nothing will surprise me. I still think there is a conversation going on, despite the reports going out there. It does look like he's going to keep his job, but there is a conversation being had right now. Whether he brings back Zach Orr at the very least. It looks like Tom Lunkin is going to be out, but that doesn't mean he's 100% coming back. I think they're really talking about that and does he want to coach on a short leash next year? Because I think he definitely is on a short leash if he comes back, especially with Zach Orr. And we can't get up to another 1-5 start next year. Right? Because now you're talking about money. Right? First of all, billionaires don't like sharing money and they don't like losing money. We're losing money, or we're missing out on money by not making it to the playoffs. Like they sold playoff tickets around here. Right now they got to refund those. Right. So not making the playoffs, that ain't good for business. Getting out to a bad start and people aren't filling up those stadiums, that ain't good for business. Yeah. So that will get you fired.
Having to donate those AFC North Championship t-shirts, not good for business.
Right. Let's see. Jessam, good morning.
Good.
Marcel. Jesus M. I can't.
It's early. It's early morning. It's good.
Slimeverse, good morning. Joe Wayne, good morning.
It's good.
Corey, good morning. Who else we got in here? Is it Dranell Grimm? I forgot Rex was connected to Geno Smith. Yeah,
the fraud.
Facts. Not. Yeah, Rex is a fraud, not Geno. KYD. We all know Hart is gonna fire or right. Right?
No, he's not.
Keep hope alive. Lee Dago, good morning. Says if we fire Harbaugh, we should hire Mike McCarthy or Jesse Minter.
I saw that comment. I saw that comment last night, and I thought to Jose.
Ali, I don't know how to tell you this, but Mike McCarthy and John Harbaugh are the exact same person. If you pull up their records and don't look at the name, you won't know who's who. They are the exact same person. No Mike McCarthy, please, and thank you. Osmond, good morning.
Good, Osmond.
Black Ice, good morning. All right. We got everybody. All right. So I want to play this clip. I'm not sure if you saw it or not, Hendo. Is from Ian Rappaport. They're talking about
what's up, Justin?
Harbaugh staying essentially and what's going to go on with the coordinator positions and all that stuff, right? I clipped a little bit of it. I think it's about over a minute. But we'll if I can did I download that? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, listen, the report is Josina Anderson, who's a huge Ravens fan, seems to believe that John Harbaugh staying put and that there is going to be some other coaching changes. And we all knew the hit pieces and everything else that it was going to be Todd Monken. He's been scapegoated for this season, even though the offense has had its troubles. They've not given him the offensive line that he deserves. They have not played the personnel that should be on the field. They're going to take the one who actually did his job in the last game and throughout the season, but the guys whose defense couldn't stop anybody in the last 5 minutes of the game, couldn't stop the Buffalo Bills, which started off this landslide of a season, he's going to keep him because somebody said it. It's kind of hard to fire your friends. It's not hard for me, but it's hard for John Harbaugh to fire his friends and say, you know what, you're just not doing the job and bringing somebody competent. So that speculation of the coaching change has brought the Ravens fans down. Because we may have to run this whole thing back with the same head coach that we're getting these same results with year in and year out. We still don't know how much to run Derrick Henry, even though we know the formula to win the game. Lamar Jackson, best play action passer in the league. We're not running play action passes. But when we did, we scored 2 touchdowns.
Facts. Facts. Good morning, Justin P. Lucille, good morning. All right, here's the clip. I clipped it down a little bit, just so they don't try to copyright strike us.
Thanks.
What are the moving parts here over the next several days in which those things have to go back and forth? Now, you can't entirely rule out a possibility, Ian, where the Ravens and or John Harbaugh get to a point and they say this isn't going to work anymore, but they have had a long-standing, solid marriage of sorts here over the past 18 years because they're able to go through these processes. They have a long-term vision here. No reason to think at this point there are going to be major changes in Baltimore, but some level of change does sort of feel inevitable.
Yeah, and the only real way is you get to a point where they say, all right, we're not working together, is if one side wants to make changes and the other side says, no, we are good, status quo. I'd be surprised, really surprised if John Harbaugh said, no, we're running it back with the entire same staff, nothing changes, and let's go. I don't get that sense. In my sense, you talk about staff changes, I would wonder about the offensive side of the ball. Todd Monken has been one of the better offensive coordinators in the NFL, certainly got a lot out of Lamar over the last couple years, but sometimes you do need a new voice, and if something were to change there at offensive coordinator, Todd Monken would immediately be one of the more in-demand play callers, and I wouldn't be surprised, Tom, if there was some additions on defense. Nothing wrong with Zach Orr at all, a really bright young coach, a lot of people like, but just sort of some reinforcements maybe on the back end just to bolster what they already do defensively.
All right. Now, you know, I know Ian Rappaport is just doing his job. He's doing what hold on. He is reporting what the organization is telling him. That is not when he says nothing wrong with Zach Orr. He's a bright young coach.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his opinion. Right. How could it be his opinion? He didn't watch enough Ravens games this year to formulate that opinion of him. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could quickly looked up what they were ranked and like, I don't know. I don't know. But that's coming from the organization. So, you know, he definitely tipped his hand there. And if you read between the lines, which, you know, you don't have to be that literate to read it between the lines. Todd Monken is out. He didn't say anything wrong with Todd Monken. He's just out.
Right.
You know, Todd Monken did his job. Like you said, Hendo, he's one that did his job. The person that didn't do the job, they have to lie about him, right? Nothing wrong. I like Zach Orr. Nothing wrong with him. There's something very wrong with him.
Right.
He can't coach. Not at that level. Not yet. Good morning, Coach. Speaking of Coach, this is a real coach right here.
Thanks.
Nah, I ain't throwing shots at Zach Orr.
See,
I ain't go throw
Jerome.
shots at appreciate you coming through, Coach.
Chad.
CES. Good morning, Jerome Bigby. Good
Yeah,
morning. Good
long
morning.
time.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Black Daniel, salute. It says running it back is an insult to further imply one coordinator needs to be changed over another without head coach accountability is a poor take.
Fact. But even if you listen to what he just said, they may be bringing in reinforcements on the back end. You just brought in 2 former defensive coordinators, one a former head coach to help Zach Orr out on the defensive end. Why do you need to keep bringing in more people to help him out? It's apparent he doesn't know his job. If I have to keep hiring guys to help you do your job, then I don't need you. I can just bring in guys that can do the job for you. Like, it makes no sense how many excuses are being made for this man. John Harbaugh himself has had 7 offensive, 7 defensive coordinators throughout his 18-year tenure because he's using these guys as sacrificial lambs. If he can't see that Zach Orr is an issue, he has to go. And the one question I have for you, Jose, in the chat is, I know people say they want Harbaugh to stay because of his stellar career and all these other things, but what is the one thing, if any, that John Harbaugh does well?
Nothing.
Nobody can answer that question. Nobody can answer that question.
It's supposed to be special teams,
Supposedly.
right? And if we had a stellar special teams unit, we win more games, right?
Right.
But they don't do anything special. It's not like, hey, we have a better average starting point than other teams. Yes, yes, we had one of the greatest kickers of all time, in Tucker, but I mean, that ain't good enough, like saying like having a great kicker is that's not good enough. That doesn't make up for everything else. And speaking of Tyler Loop, that was KP's other question. Tyler Loop, no, you don't cut Tyler Loop. I said it when we got him. He's not going to be Justin Tucker, and I'm glad. I do not want to play for field goals. Right. We got too comfortable doing that too. And that was a problem with Justin Tucker when he was at his height, at his peak. Because we knew he can make it from 60 plus yards. Right. We played for that a lot of times, instead of trying to pick up third downs. And you're seeing the effects of it now. Anytime we get into third and long, we know we're not picking it up.
We didn't even try
because that's never been our strategy.
Right.
That's never been our strategy. Omar Tillman, good morning.
What's up? Now I'm gonna disagree with you. You cut him, and you cut him now, like today. While wounds are still fresh, he can heal from everything all at once. You know what I mean? And it's not because he missed the field goal, because it's a tremendous amount of pressure to put a rookie in. His first game-winning kick is right for your team to go to the playoffs. I'm not cutting him for that reason, even though in today's NFL, we're seeing more kickers kick 64-plus yard field goals like it ain't nothing. And he's missing under 50. I'm cutting him because an NFL field is 53.3 yards wide, right? Mm-hmm. He leads the league with 8 kicks going out of bounds. In that Pittsburgh game, the one thing that they do not mention is the fact that he kicked the ball out of bounds, which gave the Steelers the ball at the 40-yard line, which helped aid them in their comeback. That, for me, is inexcusable. You missed a field goal, cool. They miss field goals all the time, even though that's the only job that you have. But to not be able to kick the ball in bounds, especially when we need it. We had this issue with Jordan Stout. Back in the days, he would always shank a punt at the wrong time. You know what I mean?
But I think that strengthens my argument to keep him, because now Jordan Stout is doing very well
in his final contract year. We don't have 3 more years, Jose, to wait for Luke to get it right. And then he priced himself out of Baltimore. Like, we don't have time for that. That's the problem that we've had with this organization. We keep going with these projects, waiting for them to develop instead of going out here getting veterans for a Super Bowl ready team. We get projects and say, well, that'd be good in 2 or 3, 4 years. We're trying to win a Super Bowl this year, and then we get to the next year, we bring on more projects, and we rinse and repeat. So yeah, it's too many free agent kickers out there that can do what Luke can do right now.
So if he makes the kick, are we saying cut him?
Yes, he's limited. Okay. He's limited over 50 yards, and that was evident throughout training camp, throughout the preseason. He cannot kick over 50 yards. We got guys that you just get to midfield and they have a chance to win the game. We got to get down to the 25 for him to be mildly successful. So yeah, he's not ready for the moment, because you could say he's a rookie, but Justin Tucker, when he was a rookie, he kicked the game winner versus New England in his 3rd game. He helped us win a Super Bowl. So being a rookie, to me, is not an excuse.
Hey, you know what? First of all, you asked me a question, and I answered it wrong. Ask me the question about Tyler Loop again. Ask me again.
You think we should got him?
Look, man, I love Tyler Loop. I love John Harbaugh. I love the Ravens. Everyone loves everyone. Okay, that's above my pay grade. Right. Good morning, Yolanda. Salute.
He said those kickers are free agents for a reason. Yeah, they are free agents for a reason. What is the dude? Aubrey. He was a free agent. Justin Tucker was a free agent. What does that mean? Your boy Loop was drafted, and the one time we needed him, he fell through. So drafted and free agents don't mean anything to me. Can you kick in pressure moments? That's all that really matters.
Yeah. Just Alice says, did you guys see the Ben Solak video? He had, you know what? Do you want me to play that? I have that. I have that bookmarked as well. All right. I mean, listen. We back. Okay. No more. No more vacation. No more vacation. We back. We can cue this up real quick. Give me a second. I'm glad he said it because he's saying all the things we've been saying for years. 4 years. Oh,
no, take me out the screen.
I'm sorry, Hendo. I thought I was taking out a comment. Yes, but I have it queued up. We look over this real quick. It's almost a 3-minute video, so we'll go through it. But he's spitting fire.
Yeah, please stop with Gruden. Steve, please stop with Gruden as a head coach. We went over this yesterday. Please stop.
Who
Gruden.
said that?
John Gruden. Please stop. No.
Who said?
Will Bands. No, he couldn't make it as a Raiders coach with 3 first-round picks.
I'm glad you asked that question because I want you to be one of the people to quell this propaganda. All right, no John Gruden, please and thank you. There's a reason John Gruden's not in the league. It's not because of his racist emails. If you didn't know about that, that's what got him out. He sucked. Right? I mean, do you want Mike Mayock as a GM too? Right? Of course not. He's terrible. Those are terrible. Those are terrible options. He can't coach.
And he is the Super Bowl winning head coach. But you have to realize he took over with Tony Dungy's defense, and he won 1 Super Bowl and did nothing after that.
Do you want Pete Carroll? He's a Super Bowl winning coach. No, you don't want Pete Carroll. All right? At least Pete Carroll is active.
That is facts.
But no, I don't want a racist coach coaching my black quarterback. No, thank you.
100%.
All right, let's take a look at this real quick, and let's see what Ben Solak has to say about the Ravens organization, and see if anything sounds familiar to you.
100%.
I like Harbaugh. I like Eric DaCosta. They need personnel help in a big way.
They need personnel help. They have some of the best players in the National Football League. You just mentioned Kyle Hamilton, Lamar, Derek. What do you mean?
Well, so you have your tentpole pieces, right? You have your cornerstones: Lamar, Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum, Ronnie Stanley. We build around these guys. Everything else for them has been drafted and developed, right? They have not signed a big free agent contract, save for Derrick Henry. The last big free agent contract they signed was in like 2016. Like, they do not spend big money on outside guys. That's fine. That's a very professional and long-term way of building. I understand that. But when it's internal extension on Rashad Bateman, internal extension on Mark Andrews, internal extension on John Jenkins, when it is Chidobe Awuzie as a second corner along with Jair Alexander, when it is Teddy Buchanan and Trenton Simpson draft and develop guys at linebacker, when it is Odafe Owe into David Ojabo, into Adisa Isaac, all at the edge rusher, into Mike Green, all at the edge rusher position. You can't draft this good. You cannot only keep your guys. It's the Chris Ballard issue in Indianapolis, where all you do is draft and develop and extend your own dudes. At some point, you catch 2 or 3 bad years, even if you're a good GM, and you just don't have enough talent, right? The Ravens have such good blue chip players. You said they have the stars. They absolutely do. When you get to the second and third tier of players, like Zay Flowers had a tremendous game last night. Is Zay one of the 20 best receivers in football? Like, are we positive he's better than like T. Higgins, Devontae Smith? No, exactly. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Tremendous catch from Isaiah Likely. Are we sure either one of these players right now at this stage in their careers is like top 10, top 15 tight end? I'm wholly unconvinced. And so you lose a lot in the margins when you're the stars and all we're going to do is extend our guys' mentality. So I didn't even bring up the offensive line. Both guard spots are drafted and developed.
This is what brings up this Lamar issue, right? Or the dilemma, because you can't afford to bring anybody in.
In terms of big money contracts?
Yeah.
Bupkis, absolutely not. No. There are so many teams that have signed so many big quarterback contracts, and they are still able to go and spend money in free agency. Absolutely, you have to be able to win in the second tier and in the third tier, or you do the Eagles thing and you kick all the cans down the road. You spend an unbelievable amount of money, which I understand not every ownership group can do, and not every ownership group wants to do. But we're talking about guard, right? Like, we're talking about Kevin Zeitler signing for 1 year, $9 million for the Tennessee Titans. Like, if you cannot solve the right guard spot, and remember, they had Patrick McCarry in the building. They had Ben Powers in the building, right? They have had John Simpson. They had dudes there who have gone on to sign, second tier to third tier level contracts. Simpson in the Jets and Powers with the Broncos at other spots. And they said, we can draft and develop. Man, like, even if you get 85% of the guy that just left the building, that accumulates over all these positions. You have a 2 problem, you have an edge rusher problem, you have a guard problem, and just there are too many holes in your roster such that once Lamar hurts his leg, like the season is lost. You got to be more serious about that second, third tier of the roster. You really do.
Ouch! You're muted. You're muted.
My bad. Yeah. That you know, if you've been watching us, Coach Evans. In fact, Coach played this clip yesterday. Shout out to Coach. I did see that he did play that. You know, you watch RoPod, you watch any of us this side of YouTube. If you watch this side of Ravens YouTube, you've heard everything that this man is saying in here before. Right. We've covered all this. We've discussed all this on the show. When people hit you with that talking point that Lamar is the reason we can't sign anybody, that is complete BS. The teams that are winning Super Bowls, like the Eagles, like the Chiefs, surround their franchise QB with talent and still have something on defense. The Eagles, with everything that they have, you know, they are highly regarded as one of the best O-line units in the league year in and year out. They have one of the best running backs in the league. They have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, right? They have weapons upon weapons. They have a better tight end than we do,
right?
Dallas Goedert. And yet still they still have defense. They have everything that you need on defense, and they were still trying to trade for Myles Garrett.
Facts.
Okay. That's how you build a team.
What? You mean not the Ravens way? Not 35 draft picks per season? I mean, and to your point, you know, and like you said, people talk about, you know, Lamar's contract is hindering. What about when he was on his rookie deal? What did they do? They let him down. Right. But more importantly, let's go beyond that. Let's take it to the team you just mentioned, the Philadelphia Eagles. They went out and signed Carson Wentz to a $100 million plus deal and went and traded him 2 years later. Started Jalen Hurts for a couple seasons, then paid him $200 million and still built a team around him. Traded for AJ Brown, paid him twice, made him the highest paid receiver in the league twice. Then we have Les Snead with the Los Angeles Rams. Did the same thing with Jared Goff, paid him over $100 million, traded him. Then the very next season, picked up Matt Stafford and gave him a $100 million contract. Paid Puka Nacua. They had already paid Aaron Donald. They still owed money for Jalen Ramsey. So all of these teams were paying, both of these teams were paying 2 quarterbacks over $100 million each, paid their star players, and still added depth and more pieces. They added stars to their team. Now, I just saw yesterday, I was wrong about the Los Angeles Rams. They don't have $60+ million in cap space. They have $93 million in cap space, along with 2 first-round picks. So all the maneuvering that they did and all the money that they've spent, they have $93 million in cap space. Now, the Ravens, with their pick and choose, paid players, whatever, however they do things, we only have like $36 million in cap space. But we do not have anything equivalent to the stars that these other teams have, especially offensively in the weapons. So you tell me which is the right way to do it, because those 2 teams have been to Super Bowls since the last time we've gone.
And won.
And won.
Well, the Eagles won too. Right. I think it's ridiculous and it's crazy to think that Lamar Jackson is a reason why we can't get talent over here. People that defend Eric DaCosta and say he's a good GM isn't drafting well. Ben Solak said it in a nice way, right? He said like nobody can draft that well, right? To only draft players and re-sign your players and not look to bring in any other help, outside help, right? Basically, what he was saying is EC has done a bad job, right? He's done a bad job, and yes, it's not sustainable. You know, everybody has bad years, but John Harbaugh has had terrible years. He's had one really good year. That was a year where he got Linderbaum and he got Kyle Hamilton. There's a lot of talent he got in that draft with the amount of picks that he used. But outside of that, I mean, we'll do that on another show, but we can look through the draft history. Not looking good for your boy. Not looking good, especially when you don't want to spend money out in free agency. You don't want to trade for anybody. You want to hoard these picks. you better hit on them. You better hit on players that make it to that second contract. You know, so no, like I understand the Ravens have a system, but you know, one, you gotta do a better job drafting. That's one, right? The reason why Les Snead, the meme for F them picks, right? The reason why they've had so much success is because yes, they traded away first round picks for a surefire talent to win a Super Bowl now, and people were saying they're mortgaging the future because they're, you know, kicking the can down the road.
Right.
They're gonna have all this dead money, blah 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 blah, and they weren't gonna have any draft picks for years. And guess what they did with the draft picks they had? They hit on those. They hit on those players.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
They say that's cool. We know how to draft over here. We'll get players to help our team out, and then now they have draft picks again, and they have cap room, and they're
still got the players.
team.
And they still got them, and they still have the players, and it's amazing, and it's crazy that, you know, people are talking about, oh, well, why are we gonna push contracts down the road? The problem with this mindset is the road never ends. It's not like we're going to get to 2030 and the bill's going to come due. The road never ends. You can kick that can down the road for forever.
Yep.
And if it gets you a Super Bowl, cool. Why not for once, even if for 1 year, go all in. Build this team that you say you want to build. This defensive line and this offensive line that you talk about consistently, but you ignore when draft time comes around. Even now, we're talking about getting certain guys in positions that really aren't necessary. I hear people talking about, yeah, you know, we need another safety. You mean we need another safety? Is safety going to help us win in the NFL today?
I mean, well, I disagree with you somewhat, and the road does end for us every year.
I mean,
because we never have cap room. Like, that's the other thing too. We're supposed to be one of the teams that's smarter with the cap, but we never have it.
Facts.
And we don't have anything to show for it. We're not paying anybody, and this is when, even when Lamar Jackson was on his rookie deal, we didn't have money. It's always, we don't have the money. Well, what are you spending your money on? Right now, this year, we talked about Harbaugh keeping his job and Zach Orr staying and all that stuff. There is one card left to play, and that comes from Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he can be the reason why they can't sign anything else this year, or they'll have to really get creative if he decides, I'm going to play hardball, I'm not going to redo my contract right now. Right, that the anticipation is his contract, he gets an extension and gives them cap relief so they can go out there and make moves. But all he has to do is and that's through his mom, right, through his agent, is say, hey, we love what Harbaugh has done for us. You know, we love the team, we love everybody, but you know, we're ready to go in a different direction with the coach. If you like, that's your decision. We're just giving you our opinion. If you decide you want to bring him back, we're gonna play for him. You know, we're gonna, you know, like it's gonna be professional. It's all love. It's not personal. But also, we're not in a rush to get our deal done right now. We have 2 years left on our contract, and we might just play out the contract, or we'll discuss it again next year.
Yeah, you know, kind of like you did in my last season in my 5th-year option. You had me play it out instead of giving me a contract back then. We're going to do that the same way that you did. And if you don't want to get rid of this coach, that's fine. This is your business. You run it the way that you run it. I'm going to run my business the way that I run. And I think the fact that Lamar's mother is his agent, I think she's the voice of reason in his head, because I've heard that she wants him to go to Miami. That's what I heard. Now, unless something changes, and it's just amazing to me how Steve Bisciotti can't see what's going on. We had this issue a few years ago with Patrick Queen and J.K. Dobbins. They essentially, after playoff losses, was like, yeah, we can't keep doing the same things over and over again. Something has to change with this organization, because we keep going out the same ways and nothing changes. And it takes nothing. Jose, if you ask me something about somebody that I want to keep around or stream with or whatever, if I really want to, regardless how I'm feeling at the moment about the Ravens losing, I'm going to say, yeah, but you know, that's my coach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's my coach and all this other stuff. You don't have to go into detail. You can just give a vote of confidence. But when you're not feeling him, I'm going to leave that up. That's above my pay grade. So the team is telling Bisciotti, we don't rock with this man anymore. we don't believe in his message. And I saw somebody in here talking about John Harbaugh is a good head coach. If you believe that he's a good head coach, cool. Why have we not won a Super Bowl? Especially 2 years when we had the best roster and the best record and home playoff games throughout the playoffs. Why have we not won a Super Bowl if he's such a great coach?
I remember we were down bad during that 1-5 stretch. They had asked Kyle Van Noy, the media asked Kyle Van Noy a question. I can't remember exactly what the question was, but it's basically about like, what's going on with the team and
It's how about losing the locker room, something like that.
Yeah, and he just said, ask the coach. Right. and he wasn't like Kyle Van Noy is a very thoughtful person. Like, and I don't think it was malicious. First of all, like criticism of Harbaugh isn't malicious. I think they all like Harbaugh, right? I think they like him. I just don't think they believe in him. That tells you where they were at. Marlon Humphrey on his live stream when he talked about players coming up to him asking him, hey, what's going on out there, and he's just like, man, I don't know.
Right.
That is a clear indictment on Zach Orr that he's not doing his job. Do they all like Zach Orr? Yeah, he seems like a likable person, right? They want this coaching staff to succeed, right? And it's fine if you like the coach and everything like that. They still have jobs to do. And if you don't know, in week 18, you're still having miscommunications. Week 18, you're still hey, he's putting us in right positions, but we're second guessing ourselves. In week 18, you're second guessing yourself.
Right.
Veteran Roquan.
Right.
Veteran Marlo, like you still second guessing yourselves out there. Your coach ain't doing his job. Right. You can like him all you want. He ain't dying. You can still be friends, right? He can't coach here.
Right. That's crazy. When I saw Kyle Hamilton and Roquan kind of doing the LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx thing, and then he give us Sunday, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, these are two leaders. What y'all arguing on the field for? Like, what's going on? And that let me know there is dysfunction in this locker room. And you can say all the right things because you like him and you want to keep him, you want to keep your boys. You want to work with your boys. Like, you feel comfortable with him. You know his coaching style. But if he's not getting it done, if he's not maximizing you, and I know for some of the lesser tier players, I know they're looking around like, you're putting me in a bad position. And that can hurt my contract status. That can hurt my livelihood in the NFL. Yo, we need to do something a little bit different. I know the offensive line looking at Warhop and like, you need to go too.
Yeah, that better be one of the coaching changes they're talking about. All right, we do have to end it here. I know it feels short. I know, but we're back to normal hours. Okay, we're back to normal hours, but we'll be here tomorrow. All right, we can pick up the conversation. And maybe there might be some more news dropping later today, but be back tomorrow morning. Also tomorrow evening, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time for the LBHT show. Keep your notification bells turned on Hendo's channel because he'll be dropping some hot fire and something we'll be dropping this week. All right. Over 350 people in here. Hit that like button and subscribe on both channels. Lunch Break Hot Take over here. Roll Pod over there. All right. Also, patreon.com/ROUG. That's for Hendo's channel. And patreon.com/LBHT show. That's for my channel. All right.
$5.
Just $5. $5. You get all kinds of content. $5. All right. All right. We are out of here. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, Ravens Roundup tonight on Coach's channel. Sip to Tally Films. Ravens Roundup. Go check it out. All right. Have a great day. Peace.
Appreciate you,